Chapter 29. The Fire That Burned Within. Young Goyawe, he was a sight sadder than a hound dog left out in the rain. 3 days he'd gone without so much as a crumb of cornbread or a sip of water, and his frame was shaking like a leaf in a storm. His chest heaved with them quiet sobs, and his songs, Lord, they was full of wails and hurt, carrying clean to the edges of the Mescalero village. He'd lost what no feller, warrior or no, ought to lose, that spark in his heart that says life's still worth living. His world was burnt to cinders, and his soul was plumb swamped in darkness. The old folks in the village, they whispered, he'd got himself tangled up with some devilish spirits. Others reckoned he'd wandered off into the underworld and couldn't find his way back. Young'uns stared at him with eyes big as saucers, scared like, and the women folk looked on with pity in their hearts. Goyawe, he just sat there, lonesome as a whippoorwill, trapped in his own misery. Come one morning, when the wind was howling through the teepees like an old granny, fussing at her kin, the medicine man, old Diwe come striding up with a purpose in his step. Goyawe, says he, you've cried enough tears to fill a creek. I ain't saying the hurt's gone, but it's time to hush up and listen. Come along with me. I ain't hauling you off to no fight, nor to no burying ground. I'm taking you to the desert. We'll sit quiet like and hunt for answers. Goyawa, he didn't say a word, but he got to his feet, slow and weary, and that there was a start. For 3 days they traipsed through them scorching sands, not speaking a lick, nothing but the crunch of their boots and the faint thump of their hearts in that big old lonesome wilderness. At night, under a blanket of stars thick as fireflies in June, Diwe lit a little fire, and his voice sang out prayers in that old tongue, the kind only the rocks and the eagles high above could make sense of. On the 4th day, perched atop a red rock that looked like it had been baked by the sun since the world was born, the medicine man spoke, soft and wise-like. We can't undo what's done, Goyawe, but we can pick what we carry from it. Revenge, it's like a firebrand. It'll burn the hand that holds it just as quick. Your pain, it's living, but it can change. It can turn into a song, a tale, a good fire to warm the whole tribe. Goyawe lifted his eyes, red as embers, but shining with something alive, not empty. If I can't bring 'em back, he says, then I'll give 'em meaning. I'll honor 'em in everything I do from here on out. The medicine man, he cracked a smile, first one since he'd hightailed it from the white folks' world. And right there, in the middle of them sands and that wide open sky, a warrior was born anew, not from hate, but from knowing. Goyawe's name, it'd be spoke different from then on, as one who went to the desert to die but come back to heal. Now old Diwe, he was lonesome as a widowed crow. She who smiles, that gal with eyes full of light and a laugh that could mend a broke heart, she'd up and married Pizago, and ever since, the medicine man felt like part of him had wandered off down a trail he couldn't follow. He was left with nothing but his herbs, his scattered dreams, and a silence that sometimes sang and sometimes cut like a knife. But now he had Goyawe by his side, a young feller with a heart all broke to pieces and eyes empty as a dry well, but still carrying a spark, even if he didn't know it, to rise up again. So Diwe, he didn't jaw about spirits or gods, nor spill the secrets hid in the stars. He took Goyawe to the desert under that big old sky, and one morning he says, "Look, boy, not just with your eyes, look with hunger, with fear, with the aching for them you loved." Together they watched a snake slip quiet-like mongst the rocks, an eagle circling for its supper, a rabbit skittering through the brush, feeling every tremble of the earth. Us folks, we think we're mighty clever, says the medicine man, but the Apache, we don't call critters animals. They're our kin. From 'em we learn how to sip the morning dew, how to hide when the wind kicks up, how to love without words, and how to meet death without trembling. Day after day, Goyawe started seeing signs. The coyotes track in the sand, the birds dance at dawn, how shadows shift with the sun, how a stone changes color when the day's at its hottest. He learned the desert ain't never empty. It's a world full of voices that don't talk human. One night, after a heap of silences and wanderings, go Yahweh up and asks, "What if I don't want to be a warrior no more? Do ye know me?" He grinned, staring into the flickering fire. "Then, boy, you're ready to be a man." From that moment, the old man weren't lonesome no more, and go Yahweh weren't empty. In a world where death was hiding behind every rock, something rare and holy was born. A friendship twixt a medicine man who'd lost everything and a young feller who didn't yet know he could start again.
The old shaman, he just stared off yonder, quiet as a church mouse, afore he turned to go Yahweh with a look so heavy it make the air itself tremble. "Now, you listen here, young and born of sorrow," says he, voice low and steady like a river running deep. "I'm an old coon, seen heaps of days and learned more'n most. But you, boy, you're going to have to see more'n me, no more'n I ever did. Elsewise, all I'm handing you ain't worth a plug nickel." Go Yahweh, he lifted his eyes slow-like. Them orbs still empty as a dry well, but something flickered in 'em, like a spark hiding under ash heaps. "Don't you let life drag you round like a hound on a rope," the shaman went on. "You got to grab the reins, son. Point life where you aim to go, even if the trail's all thorns, death, or plumb quiet." And that's when the real learning commenced. Every morning 'fore the sun got to blaze in the sand, they'd traipse out together to fetch plants. The old man, he'd show go Yahweh which leaf'd cool a fever, which root'd yank the hurt right out of your bones, which flower'd hush up a soul all tore up inside. He taught him how to live where no sensible soul'd dare, how to sniff out water 'neath stones, how to stay quiet without going half crazy, how to squint at a track and know who left it, what they was after, and if they was trouble or not. Come evening, by the flickerin' light of the fire, the old feller'd talk in tongues go Yahweh never heard afore, English and Spanish, words of folks from some far-off world. Enemy talk, maybe, but knowledge, too. Go Yahweh, he took to 'em quick as a cat to cream. He already knew the sign talk from his ma. All the tribes, no matter which, could jaw with them signs clear as day. "A feller who's got wisdom in his pocket, he's a stout one," the shaman'd say. "Ain't the one who kills, nor the one who hollers loudest, nor the one itchin' for revenge first. It's the one who sees, who knows, and picks his moment just right." Then come the promise, one that set go Yahweh's heart to blazin' fiercer'n any campfire. "If you heed me, boy," says the shaman, "no bullet nor arrow's going to lay a finger on you. Not 'cause you're untouchable, but 'cause you'll learn to be where they ain't. You'll be like the wind, like a shadow, slippin' through without leavin' so much as a whisper." "And what's in it for me?" go Yahweh asked, voice soft as a breeze. "You'll get time, son. Time to settle scores with them that done you wrong. Time to patch up that soul of yours. And one day, a day that's sure to come, you'll know you done what you was meant to do. Then that scart boy you used to be, he can skedaddle. And the man you've growed into, why, he'll smile quiet like.